Visit Wales. The don'ts of visiting Wales. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the commodity. I'm Fez. So what am I not supposed to do when I go and visit Wales? Now that's the question, and I believe we're going to get the answer today. Walter's World. I have actually watched videos from his channel for quite a while, just because I think he's entertaining. And I kind of like, because he started out in a very different way, and then he kind of grew the channel, and I believe he's gotten a lot more like in the trip type of stuff. I just spat all over my arm. That was gross. How are your New Year's resolutions going? Has anybody failed yet? I thankfully have yet to. I know it's mostly water weight, but I've dropped 4 pounds in 4 days. So 4 days. That is today that I'm filming on the 4th. This is probably going to go out. Let's see here. I'm guessing like the 8th or 9th. I don't even know. But let's go ahead and jump into this. This is going to be awesome. And if you're from Wales, let me know down in the comments.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here in Wales. Yes, wet Wales. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting Wales, so you can be better prepared when you come here. Now, the first two kind of relate to each other. The first thing you should know is Wales and England have a long history together, and it's not always been a good...
I'm doing keto, and we have this place called Wild Forks, and it's like over by where my ex-wife lives, which is about 20-30 minutes from where I live, and they have this place, and it's nothing but a giant meat market that's like super high. I wouldn't say super high end, but high end. Like they have the Wagyu stuff straight from. They have Wagyu from A5 Wagyu from Japan. They have Wagyu from Australia. They have bison, like everything. And I was just looking at it, and then I saw that they actually had the clams. They have all that kind of stuff, and I was like, oh, I need to go by there because clams are super cheap, even here in North Texas. So, and I just got done eating. So when you're fat, you're fat. Even if you lose weight, you're fat at heart. I am 100% fat at heart.
Good thing.
And fat in real life.
Sometimes Wales feels like they're just treated like the little bit picked on brother of England. So some of the things you should know, the first two don'ts deal with that. The first thing is never, ever call a Welshman an Englishman, okay? The Welsh are Welsh, the English are English. There are differences. There are cultural differences here from the language and the vibe you get from the country and stuff like that. There is a difference. So don't call the Welsh English. Also, don't say when you're in Wales that you're in England, okay? Because they are two distinctly different countries. Now, you can say, oh, I'm in the United Kingdom or I'm in Britain. Yeah, that's okay, you know, more or less. But just know, Wales, England, they're not the same place, all right? Just have a heads up for that. Now, my next don't for you is don't think that coming to Wales is going to be a city or town-based vacation. Look, when you come to Wales, you want to get out in the countryside. You want to explore. You want to stay in little cottages like this, you know, back in the farmland and stuff like that, because you really get back to nature when you're here, and it's just gorgeous.
Awesome.
The hiking, the cycling, all these kind of things, kayaking, stuff like that, going to the coastline and the beaches. It's really a beautiful thing to see. And the thing is, you don't do the cities. Now, I'm not going to say don't do any cities. I mean, Cardiff, a super cool town. I know every time I've gone there, I've been very impressed with it, with the stuff you can do and the nightlife and stuff like that. It's a fun city to go to. But overall, this is a outdoors vacation. You're going up to the north in Snowdonia National Park and hiking around there, or wandering down there, or up there, I should say, doing that. Or you're going to the coast. Pembrokeshire Coast National Park is great. Brecon Beacon's right here behind me where we're at. It's just really great to be outside and enjoy nature when you're here and visiting the castles and all kinds of stuff, you know. And going along with that, don't forget to bring your hiking boots when you come here. Look, you're going to do this hiking, and your normal shoes you wear around town and you might fly in and stuff like that are not going to cut it on some of these trails, okay? Because
that is beautiful. And those are sheep, yeah. So do y'all eat a lot of sheep, or is it mostly just for... Man, I'm so stuck on food. I don't know what's going on with me today. I do know what is going on to me today. I'm dieting, and that is a pain in my ass, but I need to do it just for health and for comfort, really. I mean, my back's been killing me, but man, I see those sheep. I'm just like, come on over here. I don't even know if there's like specific breeds that you eat and that you don't, but you know, it is what it is. But that is beautiful. And I've seen pictures and all that stuff of Wales, and it's a stunning, stunning country. Because y'all are pretty heavily rained on, right? Just like in this video. Because it seems like every time I ever see pictures of it, it's always green. So I definitely can appreciate that.
There are some more difficult trails when you come here, so don't forget to bring some good hiking boots. Also, with the rain and stuff like that, it can get muddy. You want to have multiple pairs of shoes, so you have your muddy, wet ones that you can wear hiking, and then the ones you're going into town, hitting up the pub, and stuff like that. You want to make sure you have those, all right? Now, if you didn't bring your boots, okay, you to hike around, and you will find stores around towns and the villages that will sell gear for that. That's okay. But to deal with that, I'm going to say another don't. Don't forget to get all your shopping done by 6 p.m. Look, in Cardiff, things may stay later, open later, or whatever, but when you're going through the heart of Wales and stuff, you'll see the villages and the hamlets and the towns. I mean, they shut down, roll up the sidewalks at 6 o'clock, okay? So if you want to get your shopping done, you've got to do it before 6, all right? So if you need to pick up a jumper or a rain jacket or shoes or boots, things like that, you got to do it early. Now, I will say, if you need to get gas or groceries, I found that the gas station and the grocery stores do stay open later, so you do have that. But your normal shopping, yeah, don't forget to get that done by 6. Now, my next don't is, you know, I've been standing in this rain. If you see some of our other videos in Wales, you'll notice there's a slight wet tinge going on here. And you notice I'm not complaining about it, all right? Because my next don't for you is don't complain about the rain in Wales. Look, it's Wales. It rains a lot. So since we've been here, we had one gorgeous day, perfectly sunny, gorgeous, beautiful. Next day, a little bit of sprinkles. Next day, a little bit of sprinkles. Today, yeah, it's a bit more rain. And you will have that when you're here, so make sure you come prepared. Bring your rain jacket, umbrella, the boots, stuff like that. Do have that. But don't complain about the rain. You're coming to Wales. It does rain a little bit here. Now, it's not like there's a sheet of rain at the border waiting to get you wet. No. But just know, it does rain a bit more here than you will have like in London or something like that. So just a heads up. Now, when you're driving around Wales, and you will want to rent a car to go and explore and see the castles that are all over the country and go and explore the parks and stuff like that and get into the villages or staying at your cottages and stuff like that, you will need your own transportation, okay? And one of the don'ts I have for that is don't forget to get the GPS with your car, okay, with your rental, because you have a lot of tiny roads, you have a lot of weird windy roads, stuff like this that can, you know, get you a little lost or get you confused or not sure where you're going to go, and they can be a little scary sometimes. So having the GPS, having that on there will give you that peace of mind.
So y'all are still big with the manual transmissions? Man, trying to find a manual transmission in the US is nearly impossible. I say nearly. I mean, I think you can get a Supra, you can get the Nissan Z with a manual transmission. You can get, I think, one Camaro, the ZL1 1LE comes with a manual transmission. It's literally sports cars. That's the only thing you can really get in a manual transmission. Even like your very basic entry level vehicles, they all come automatic. I mean, your cheapest, like, you know, close to $20,000 range is always going to be an automatic transmission. It's just crazy to think that that's still like a real big thing in parts of the world. Because I mean, I'm assuming it's well, maybe not by now. I mean, I was going to say it's probably because of cost, but these manufacturers make so many automatic transmissions that it probably doesn't cost anywhere near as much as it is to do a whole bunch of manuals, a few manuals, and then a bunch of automatics. It's probably just easier just to do automatics. And now that automatics have gotten so efficient with the dual clutches and all that, I don't know why I'm going off on a tangent with a car. Sorry. Let's just get back to the video. I just thought it was interesting.
Will make you feel better, you know, because I guess another don't I could put on top of that one is don't expect to have cell service or mobile service everywhere in Wales. Yeah, if you're in Cardiff or you're right in the heart of Brecon or something like that, you'll have a signal. But if you get out of town a bit, man, signals sometimes drop off. I mean, where we're staying right now, there's no cell service, okay? There's no calling or anything like that. So do have a heads up with that one. That's what I always say, get the GPS, because you can't pull out Google Maps or Waze, you know, in the middle of a national park when there's no signal. It's not gonna help, okay? So do have that. My next don't for you.
Come on, Elon Musk, hurry up.
That is, don't be claustrophobic when you're driving in Wales. Look, they have highways and stuff like that. You can do that. But when you're exploring, you're going to go on the back roads that are here with the super high hedgerows. And it's like you're driving in a little tiny lane down the road. And what you don't realize is traffic goes both ways on those. And that can freak people out when there's a car coming. Like, what do I do? What do I do? You pull off to the side, let them go by, or they pull off in the little part of the hedgerows, and then you go by, things like that. So do have a heads up when you're going through those back little lanes. Like note when, oh, there was a pull off there if I need to back up or get there, because that can happen when you are here. Now, after a very stressful day of driving around Wales, I mean, it's not that bad. It's gorgeous driving. I'm not gonna lie to you. You go around like, oh my God, oh my God. And what's cool is when you're driving around, there's so many castles that are here that you actually will stop a lot of times to actually get into the castles, which is really nice. But when you're exploring those castles, I do have a don't for you with your car, and that is, don't think that the entrance and the exit into the castles or into the ruins or into any of the places will get you back on the same spot on the highway as you came in on. Sometimes you're gonna have to backtrack a few miles to get back on the highway because the entry is here, the exit is there, and you can't get on your side of the motorway or the highway from there. So do have a heads up for that. That was probably the most frustrating part of driving here, is that sometimes it's not always easy to get around, okay? Oh, also, don't forget, they drive on the left side of the road here, not on the right. So if you're used to driving in Australia or New Zealand or the UK or whatever, you're fine.
That kind of makes it funny on those little tiny roads where, you know, y'all kind of get over. So as an American, I pictured it like, what would I do in that case? So I'm thinking, get over to the right and let them go by. Which in a road like that, who really? I mean, as long as there's space, who really cares? But still, like, they'd probably be like, oh, geez, it's a effing American, of course. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's probably where most people go to, especially if they're driving on the, you know, the right side of the road. And not by right, I mean like the correct side of the road, as opposed to going to the left side, you know, veering off to the left to give way. It's just a funny thought process. I was like, if I ever go, I got to remember that I'm getting over on the left side, not on the right side. But again, it probably doesn't matter at that point.
But if you're coming from the US, it is on the other side of the road. Now, after all the driving and adventuring stuff you're doing during the day, we've got some nighttime don'ts for you as well. Now, I've already talked about don't shop after 6, but I will say if you're going to
where all the vampires come out.
You're going to have dinner at the pub. Don't forget to look at your table you're sitting at and get that number and go up and order with the number at the bar, okay? It's kind of frustrating when you get up, wait in line, you get to the bar and say, hey, I'd like to order this. They go, what's your table number? I don't know. They're like, well, leave, go find out, then come back later because we can't put the order in until you give us the table number. So don't forget the table number, okay? That happened to you. It happens once in a long line. You'll never forget it, okay? There's that. Another don't I have for you is if you're going to come here with kids, don't expect to eat a pub dinner with your kids at night, okay? Because some of the pubs you can't go in, kids can't come in the evening. So if you want to have that pub grub dinner with the kids, you want to do that for lunch or do it earlier before like 7 o'clock at night or something like that, so you know they can get in and eat. And when you're at the pub or you're at a restaurant or something like that, my next don't would be, don't pass up the chance to chat with the locals. The Welsh are actually really nice people. I've had a very nice time talking with them. A lot of them are like, why did you come to Wales in the fall? I mean, it's rainy and wet. You could come in the summer when it's more beautiful and easier to hike around. I'm like, look, this place is gorgeous all the time. It's okay. But the Welsh have been really nice people, okay? So don't pass up the chance. If they say something to you when you're sitting in the pub or you're at a restaurant, talk back. They're not weirdos. They're just being friendly, okay? That's one thing that's really cool. But I will say one thing about the Welsh people for you, don't bother learning Welsh. Oh my gosh. When you see the Welsh language, you're like, where'd the vowels go? Why are there so many double L words?
Hold on, let's go back. Okay.
Welsh language, you're like, where'd the vowels go?
Okay, so I have you paid and displayed? I'm going off of like English, I guess, sounding. Yidich. Chiwedi talu, that sounds almost Spanish. Talu, talu ak ardangos. I know I hit that dead on. Yidich. Okay, I'm gonna say it fast. Yidich chiwedi talu ak ardangos. I don't know why
Why are
all of a
there so many
sudden
double L words?
the
What's
Angles.
going on here? You have that, and it does kind of throw tourists off.
Yeah, the
Because you will
Angles.
see signs in Welsh and English, so you do have that. But just know, you don't have to know Welsh, okay? I mean, it's like diolch, I think is how you say thank you. And they'll know that's what you're trying to say, diolch. And, they'll be like, oh, you're trying to say thank you. Awesome, because nobody speaks Welsh. But the people here, a lot of them do speak Welsh. But as a tourist, you don't have to worry about it. You'll be fine with English. It's okay, all right? Now, when you leave the pub, I've got another don't for you. When you get back to your cottage or your B&B or whatever, or just if you're taking an evening stroll, don't forget to look up. Wales is fantastic for stargazing. I mean, it is just gorgeous when you're here. Even our kids were impressed.
I don't
with how
see
many
any
stars. You can
stars.
see? I mean, did you know Brecon Beacon, where we're staying here, one of the 11 international dark sky reserves, which means it's fantastic to see the stars. Now, if you got a rainy night, you can't see it, so don't bother on the rainy nights. But if you are here on a clear night, don't forget to look up. It's worth it to take the time just to enjoy the view. I'm not good enough in photography to get the pictures of it, sadly, but it is one thing you really want to do when you are here. Now, another don't I have for you is when you're here, you'll see there's a lot of train lines you can grab onto. Now, you can use it as a tourist to go from destination A to B, but if you have your own transportation, I say take the train anyway to go somewhere and come back, because you have these narrow gauge trains, the trains that go up in the mountains, you have all these kind of things, just beautiful.
If there is an opportunity to take a train anywhere, it's always a go. Like, when I went to Spain, because we flew into Madrid and we were planning on, the destination was Denia, on the far east side on the eastern coast of Spain. And there was a train that we could take, or we could have just taken a bus. We instantly took the train. It was like twice the time, but it was just well worth it. It was so much fun. Here in the States, you know what I found out? The United States actually has the most train tracks and per mile or kilometer, however you want to put it, than any other country in the world. But 90% of it, or 90+% of it, is owned by private companies, but it's used for mining and transfer of goods and all those kind of things. So I thought that was kind of crazy, because I've never taken a train outside of local transit. Like Dallas, I've taken the train a bunch of times, but out in going across country or something like that. My mom had brought it up that they were going to take it up from San Antonio to Oklahoma or Arkansas or something like that. And I was like, how much does it cost? It's literally twice a plane ticket. I was like, it's $250, $300. And I was like, you could fly and be there in an hour, or you can take the train and you'll be there in it was a stupid amount of time, 12 hours. So, but there is something about the train, and there's just something that is so unique and so different. And every country tends to have very different styles of trains and all that kind of stuff. I really want to go to Asia and do the bullet trains. I really want to ride on a bullet train.
Gorgeous train rides. Take a train ride for the day, like a day trip. Go and come back. It is really gorgeous. And I mean, I know a lot of people think, well, I already have my car. Why would I do that? Well, when you're driving, you're always focused. Don't pass up that chance to see the countryside from the trains, because it is really gorgeous. And my last don't for you when you come here to Wales is don't forget to flick the switch when you plug in your devices. Look, when you go and plug in your plugs here, whether you want to charge your computer, your phone, your camera, stuff like that, you'll see the plug and you'll plug your stuff in and walk away. But what you have to realize is a lot of them have a little switch, and you got to click that switch to make the electricity actually flow through the outlet, okay? So you don't want to have your device plugged in all night, and then it doesn't charge, and then you can take beautiful pictures like you see in all the postcards and stuff like that. It can be frustrating. Anyway, I hope that helps you know a little bit more about Wales. If you want more nitty-gritty, down and dirty stuff, we have a video, what to know before you come to Wales. If you want a little more fun kind of thing, we have 10 shocks of visiting Wales. We also have 5 things you might want to eat when you're here. Yes, aside from the Welsh cakes, there is more. Check us out on our website at waltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter.
That was really good. I love this guy. He's very well spoken, and he knows how to articulate his thoughts very well. I don't know if he writes this stuff or if he just kind of goes off the top of the dome, like Eminem. But it's great. I think he does a great job. But I think I like the idea. I want to come and visit. I want to go everywhere. I wish I had the opportunity, the money, the time, but we'll see what happens in the future. You never know. Things can change. But guys, if you have suggestions for more videos about Wales, link to my Discord is down in the description. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see my future videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. But I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.